Hello and welcome to Module 6 for EDCI 5700. I'm already into the module and we'll go ahead and get going here. And this module is due, or it's not due, but its suggested completion is October 19th. We're at the middle point of the semester. Please look over your grades and points. Make sure that everything you have submitted, you've received points for. If anything's missing, drop me an email. We will get it fixed. I should be able to fix that quickly. We're also at the point where during this module, you should have submitted your qualitative research summary to your partner for peer review, and we're getting close to when your partner needs to get that back to you. So any questions on that, let me know, and we'll get those answered as soon as possible. Going ahead with Module 6, sharing a photo I took back on a Sunday afternoon drive through the Boise foothills east of Boise. And I took this in October 2020, just as the fall was descending on the high desert. You're watching the recording. For this module, chapters 10 and 11, and things to consider as you go through it. What is the difference between causation and correlation? And I brought that up in my introduction and instructions for the last module. And like I said, causation or correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation. The second question to consider in research, which is superior? What is necessary to determine each? And do we sometimes infer causation when only correlation can be determined? And I put here popular news outlets do this regularly. So that's the reading. We've got the supplemental PowerPoints. And chapter 10 is on experimental designs. Chapter 11 is on correlational designs. Then I've got a YouTube video, first one from the Khan Academy on Introduction to Experiment Design. And one thing I would add on experimental designs, this is very difficult to do in education, especially K through 12 education, preschool, and then K through 12, because we're working with minors, and it's difficult to have a true experimental design. And the one thing that the example I use with my doc students and students is a new fantastic way of teaching math or science or anything, a new fantastic way to do it. And a doc student will want to do an experimental design, which means that you would need to take a random sample from a population, a random sample for the experimental group, and then the control group. And where we kind of get up against ethical standards is what would a parent say if you came to them and wanted their permission and they were in either the experimental and control. The experimental group, they might say, well, why is my child being singled out to be in this something that's just an experiment that's not tested? I'd rather have my child doing what's been done in the past. And then you go to the control group. Why is my child not in the experimental group? This sounds like a really great way to teach something, great way to learn something. And why is my child being put in the control group? Excuse me. So you can see where there are ethical questions and where a true experimental design may not be possible for some of our research and education. Then there's a YouTube video on correlational designs, post your module reflection. And remember that you need to respond to 2 other postings, and mine can be included. And then the quiz. And the suggested completion date is October 19th, right about at the midterm of the semester. And as always, if you have any questions, let me know. Take care. Bye.